I don't even know where to begin today. There's so much going on. I know Danny sent out an email last night, so maybe we should start with Danny.
And it was a huge, like a mystery. It was a cliffhanger email.
It sure was,
sent out a cliffhanger email.
I'm not a fan of the cliffhanger email. No one does that a lot?
Like, who?
E-Rock.
Oh, but who cares? Because you know it's just going to be some stupid.
I'm not a fan of the tease.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, as far as, like, work stuff, let me explain. When you do a radio show, you got to tease stuff. It's just part of, trying to get people to listen a little longer. You understand that.
What?
You get frustrated, but I've honed that craft.
Certainly.
But when it comes to emails, E-Rock writes me, he goes, when you get a chance, could you call me? I got a question about the channel.
Why not just text?
Thank you.
Just text.
And he does it all the time. So I have to write back, what is this about? Because you know what? In this day and age, you don't have to make all those dumb phone calls anymore.
No.
We all have a phone that has some nice capabilities, and you can get a lot done without having to talk to a human being.
I am all about texting. Leave me alone. Don't
texting,
don't
emailing.
When my phone rings, like it's a phone call, I just get annoyed.
It's weird, right?
I'm like, what is this? Stop it.
Why would you want to actually talk?
Just text.
Well, we could just use our phones to communicate.
Yes.
So E-Rock writes, when you get a chance, give me a call. I got a question about the channel. I'm like, why would I ever call you? So I have to write back, what is this about? And then he goes, well, just call me when you get a chance. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, we probably could solve it this way. But with that being said, Danny sort of had one of those emails last night.
Cliffhanger.
And I don't usually do that either, but it was so much to type. Like, I just felt like I couldn't just sit there and write it, because who's going to read a huge page-long email,
Well, we did get the gist of it. It's like, I want to kill somebody. I was at Circuit City. So I'm like, okay.
I wasn't even home yet. Like, I was basically standing outside of the store just going, okay.
But I think everyone could understand the difference between the two emails, the E-Rock email, and yours at least made it go, wow, I can't wait to ask Danny tomorrow on the show what this is all about. We're going to hear this cold, right? You didn't tell anybody?
No. The only person who knows anything is Travis. I was talking to last night.
Yeah, so
I tell somebody.
I know Circuit City's doing their liquidation thing, which, by the way, is a nightmare.
It is. It really, really is. And, like, the sales aren't even that great in the first place.
No, they're going to get great.
Well,
that's the problem, because everyone, when they hear Circuit City's closed and they're liquidating everything, everyone runs to the Circuit Cities thinking they're going to get amazing deals. But what they do, because they're kind of smart, they knock it down 10%. And as the weeks go on, all of a sudden it'll be 70% off, but it'll be for like old Atari systems,
just garbage,
old phones, and
at that
stuff
point
like
it's garbage. There's garbage on the floor.
Right.
Like they don't even care. It's like you're walking into a looted store.
I thought it was the set of Slumdog Millionaire. I went in there and yeah. All right. So what happened, Dan?
Well, my hard drive had crashed yesterday, and
which by the way is amazing. I don't mean to keep jumping in here, but you're the third person this week alone that had a hard drive crash. I know 3 people in 1 week.
And a car crash.
Yeah. So
and a car crash, right.
Something else has to happen.
Yeah.
Trifecta.
No.
But, so I figured, all right, well, I know Circuit City's, liquidating, so I could probably get some kind of discount. So I'll just drive over to Circuit City. It's 5 minutes from my house, and, I'll get a hard drive and, problem solved. So I go down there. I bring my old hard drive with me because I, just want to make sure I'm getting the right thing and everything. So
sure.
Walk up to some fat sales girl, and I say, hey, and I have the one that I picked out from the shelf, and I'm like, I just want to make sure this is the right thing because I know you guys are liquidating. There's no returns, blah, blah, blah. So I just want to make sure I have the right thing.
Right there is a problem.
Before I get out of here.
What are you doing? So you just set up your own problem.
Unless you're walking in, paying for it, you got to be like Jerry Seinfeld was with the Soup Nazi.
Yeah.
As far as Circuit City goes now. Walk up, hand the money, get your product, and leave.
Notebook hard drive, please.
Please, and then step away.
Step to the side. Just keep stepping.
Give him the money and walk out. Any questions, anything else, you're asking for trouble.
I think you're
right.
No
electronics for you.
Right. I think you're right. All right. So you asked.
So, I ask, and so she could see my old hard drive. She sees the box that I have in my hand, and she goes, oh, yeah, that'll work. That's fine. I'm like, you sure? Yeah. Oh. Okay. I go, I walk, I pay for my stuff. I go home, I'm all happy. I'm like, all right, I'll get to install new OS. This is going to be fun. So I get home, and, it doesn't take much to see that it's obviously the wrong hard drive. The connection is completely different.
Oh, boy.
And now I know. I'm like, well, great, because it's stamped right on my receipt, like no returns, no exchanges or whatever. And I'm like, ugh, well, and I'm like, you know what? It was at least the sales girl's fault, so at least I have some kind of leg to stand on here, right?
Oh, certainly do. Yeah.
Well, that's when I decide I'm going to call the store.
Oh.
Ooh.
To see what is going on. So I got a lovely animal on the phone that works their customer service.
What kind of animal? Cheetah, panda, wolf?
Well,
a Jojo.
why don't you just ring that bell?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I call and I'm trying to explain the story, and I'm being nice, and I'm having a lot of patience with said customer service representative, and she keeps interrupting and saying, well, I'm sorry, sir, but, there's no refunds, no exchanges, because you got to take it up with the liquidator, I guess. And I'm trying
The
to explain to her,
liquidator?
and I'm telling her,
liquidator?
I'm like, listen, it's not that I came in and bought the wrong thing. I was like, your salesperson sold me the wrong thing, so it's really not my fault. So, I guess you guys could probably make an exception. And she just goes, why you got to be all mad rude to me?
You were being mad rude?
I assume so. And I asked her, I said, I didn't realize I was being mad rude to you.
Mad rude.
And she goes, yeah, well, you being mad rude to me. And I'm just like, do you think that this is, and now I'm like Joe Consumer. I'm going, do you think this is any way to treat a customer?
You should have went, there's a ripe upstairs.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have went, there's a ripe right there.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did to you.
Yeah, exactly. Very badly, too. So I say, I'm like, don't you at all care about the store that you work for? She goes, there is no store. They all closing.
Oh, God. That's exactly it. And that's the attitude you're going to get.
And I'm like, all right, well, obviously I'm not going to get anywhere with this. So
That's like standing on the bow of the Titanic and going, I'd like to speak to the cruise director,
Yes.
please.
Yeah.
I didn't get the buffet. The buffet's not set up.
Right.
So now I know that this is now a losing battle, so I have some fun anyway, and I decide to ask, said customer service rep what they plan on doing in 3 weeks when they're out of a job.
Oh, good. Now you are being
Very
mad. Now you are being mad
Nice.
rude.
Now you're
Yeah,
getting
now I'm
mad
gonna-
rude back.
She goes, I have my job for at least 6 weeks.
Oh, God damn.
I'm like, wow, sweet. And then I'm like, yeah, and then what? And then she goes, I'll go on unemployment. And I'm like, all right, well, this battle's lost. So I hang up and I call back, and I think I get the same person, but I guess it's someone else.
Yeah, it's very hard to tell.
Well, so they pick up and, start to say whatever, and I'm like, yeah, what's your name? And she goes, who you think you are? Asking me, what's your name? And it's a completely different person.
Wow.
And I'm like, and I just say, without explaining my situation, I'm just like, you're going to make me come down there, aren't you? Like, you can do whatever you want. I'm like, all right, fine. Take the hard drive, take my old one, go back to the store. I bypass their little service desk and just go straight to the chubby sales girl
That
who
told you-
sold me the wrong thing.
Yeah,
Right.
good call. Very good
Reset,
call.
completely reset, Mr. Nice. Hey, I was just in here, 15 to 20 minutes ago.
Remember?
I was like, you sold me this hard drive, and it's actually the wrong one. And so I'm just looking to exchange it for the right one. Well, we can't do that because there's no refunds, no exchanges. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but you sold me the wrong one, so it's kind of different. It's not like I came in here and, bought something. You actually sold me the wrong thing.
Oh, my God.
Well, I don't know. You have to talk to a manager or something. And I'm like, you can't be serious. Like, you sold me the wrong thing. So I speak to, the manager in that department. He's like, yeah, there's nothing really we could do about it, so you have to talk to, the manager of the whole store or whatever. And I just had to say to the guy, I'm like, can you just please acknowledge that your salesperson just sold me the wrong thing? And it's not like it was a $25 thing. I wouldn't care. But it was, $100 plus tax, blah, blah, blah. It's, money. So now they call the manager.
Did he
and
acknowledge it to you?
He was just like, well, I understand, but, there's nothing we could do. He was trying to be kind of sort of nice about the whole thing. But then,
How about here's what they do. They box up the one, they take it back, and just give you the right one.
Right. No one's going to
No one
care in a few weeks.
cares. No one gives a crap. The store is done. It's gone. Why would they give you that much trouble and just not give you 5 hard drives?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that this was becoming such of a big deal. It was so not an issue, and especially not mine.
I'm getting angry.
Dude,
I'm so irritated for him already.
Yeah, because I know how this
it
is.
gets so much better because now I asked to speak to the manager, and so I see a nice gentleman
Okay.
who's salt and peppery, and he's he looks like he's the kind of guy that would be able to get something done for you.
Certainly.
Should you be so inclined. So, And he, this is after some waiting, so I'm getting a little fidgety, but here he is, and I say, okay, well, here's the problem. I was like, your salesperson in, the computers section, she sold me the wrong hard drive. I was like, I brought my old one with me so that, I would kind of ensure that I got the right one.
Yes.
And I brought it home, and it was the wrong one, and I was like, I know that you guys have a no refund because you're liquidating everything, but, obviously it's not my mistake, so I was just wondering if you could exchange it for me. He's like, well, now we can't do that because no refunds, no exchange. I'm like, yeah, I get that, but your salesperson sold me the wrong thing. I was just like, I don't understand how you cannot exchange this for me. Like, it's very easy to do. He's like, well, we can't do it. And he's just giving me a really hard time, just as hard as the time as everyone else who I've spoken to. And I couldn't believe that this was the kind of, treatment I was getting from, the manager.
That's what you get.
And I said, well, how come you have a sales girl in computers who doesn't know what she's talking about, selling people the wrong thing? And he goes, oh, yeah, well, I guess I'll have to have a talk with her.
Huh.
Oh, that's good.
That'll work.
Everybody's losing their jobs,
Right.
3 weeks
Getting
anyway.
reprimanded.
What is a talk going to do?
If it's any consolation, at least those people are all going to suffer.
Well, I hope so.
They're all going down the toilet.
I hope so, yeah.
Nice.
And then, so I'm just holding the hard drive now, and I'm like, well, what do you expect me to do with this?
Oh, please tell me you smashed it somewhere.
And he goes,
Please tell
sir,
me.
I can't tell you what to do with your own property.
Yeah, well, how about I swing it into the wall, into a monitor?
I go, dude, I was like, dude, it's like over $100 that I just threw away. And he goes, well, I wouldn't throw it away.
What are you supposed to do with it?
Yeah, so now I'm getting annoyed because he's just being an ass.
Yeah, now he's being condescending.
He's like, maybe you should try eBay. And I'm like, why do I need to go out of my way?
You just bought it.
I
Sell it
bought
at a
it
loss.
15 minutes ago.
Do the right thing
So
and
now you
exchange
want me to sell it at a loss because your salesperson sold me the wrong thing.
They're just told to say, yeah, that'll work.
I was like,
yeah, that'll work.
And I didn't even let him respond. I was like, and you're just going to let an inexperienced salesperson who does not know what she's talking about sell the wrong thing to people, And I was like, and you're just going to let that happen? He goes, no, you're right. I'll fire her.
Oh boy, condescending.
So now I'm completely losing my mind.
This son of a bitch. They probably have been told if someone comes up with a question, just tell them yes, it'll work, just so they could get rid of their crap. Just so they could sell their crap. So they just say, will this work? And they go, oh, yeah, this will work. And then they sell it. That's exactly what they're doing.
That's what I'm thinking. But here's the best part of the whole thing, right? So now...
You went in and there was blood on the walls.
Well, no, because...
That would be the best part.
So now I know that I'm just screwed, and I kind of have to accept it. I'm like, all right, now I just have to walk out of here with this.
Suck on it.
So I just go to him, and again, I'm like Hank Hill. I go, it's no wonder that this place is going out of business when you treat your customers this way, right? And so now he... And the customer service reps, who I know I spoke to on the phone, 50 minutes prior, they go like this, swear, hey, hey, and they start clapping at me after I said that, and I'm just like stunned now. I'm just like, what the hell was that?
Just bank that, you know what you could bank on? That is their utter frustration and pain that they are so effed and will be joining the ranks of the un-effing employed.
I couldn't believe it, and I'm like,
what store was this?
Circuit City.
No, where?
College Point, 20th Avenue.
Okay.
Manager's name is Russ.
I'd love to go there.
Where's that? Is that Brooklyn, Queens?
That's Queens. Yeah. So,
I would love to go there.
So I'm like stunned. I'm like, what? What was that? And he goes, the only customers that complain are the ones that don't get their way. And I was like, that's the most asimine thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, the ones that get their way complain.
Like, why would I complain if I get my way? So now I know, obviously, now that this is a losing battle, and I'm just like, well, you know what, everybody, have fun at your next exciting job in retail electronic sales, and walked out just stunned, and that's pretty much where that email came into play. I was just,
you use a credit card?
I use my debit card. So I can't even. I can't even like put a stop on the charge. They won't even, dude. I wanted to pay for it with my Circuit City card. But guess who's not accepting those anymore?
Oh, really?
Circuit City wouldn't accept that.
Even though it's completely owned, like that whole service is run by Chase, and I think serviced by Chase, but it's not Chase going out of business, so I don't know why I can't use it. But they're not accepting that.
There you go.
Now I'm stuck with a 250 gig hard drive I can't use. So if there's anyone out there that needs one, let me know.
Hey, I'll pay $10 for it.
I'll give you 20.
As he's saying that, I'm thinking I hope you swing that into the manager's mouth. I hope he swings his hard drive in the manager's mouth.
I would have had to do something. I probably would open up the box and smashed it right in front of their face.
Yeah, I'd have to just like I understand, but in my position, I would be able to, absorb the loss a little easier. Thank God for,
It's not about
my
that,
life.
though.
But just to take it and smash it.
That's what I would have to do.
And I would honestly throw it into a monitor.
Really?
And then just wait for the cops. And then explain, I don't know. Hey, and then I would say, yeah, these guys. And I explain the whole thing and go, yeah. I was tossing it to a guy. It's off camera. Watch the security cameras. I was throwing it to him.
I'm standing there as this all was going down, and I knew it was going to go bad because when I was waiting for the manager, the customer service persons that I had a feeling I had spoken to on the phone earlier, they kind of were looking at me like, oh, I just saw this guy. He's holding hard drive. Someone just called about this. Has to be that guy. So they were kind of eyeing me and whispering and stuff. So they were just waiting. They could not wait to get on me about this.
Oh, here's what you do. Sorry. Throw it through the monitor, pay for the monitor with the Amex, call up Amex, cancel it. And you know damn well they can't go, there's too much crap going on. They're not going to be able to fight the fact that there's this charge, those investigations go on for a while, and then you ate one of their monitors. You go, there, now eat it.
But just call the cops so he'd want to.
But I paid for it.
So you know what?
No, I paid for the monitor.
Take that step out of the equation. Just buy a lot of stuff with your credit card. Cancel it as soon as you get home.
You could smash it, though. I'd pick up a monitor.
I'm just saying, get some good stuff.
I'd pick up a monitor and go, oops, and just smash it on the floor and go, I'm sorry, let me pay with that with my Amex. And then I pay and go, and then in the store, I call and go, hello? Yeah, I want to cancel the charge for a monitor I just bought from Circuit City.
Right. They dropped it.
Yeah, they dropped it.
And they're trying to say I did.
Yeah,
and
that's
all.
just
crazy.
There are things we can do. Let's do this.
Because they don't care. They don't care. They're all going to be out of jobs.
It's
Nobody
so
cares.
funny. It would be funny for me to know I just screwed them. That one of their idiots have to come out and clean it up. Now clean it up.
Danny was in a bad spot. You were in a no-win situation because in the end, he's right. No one gives a crap in that situation. They all know they're losing their jobs.
But wait, Danny, how about like Ann said, you buy the right one with your credit card now in a different store?
And then just cancel the payment.
Now you've paid the right amount of money.
He can. He uses his debit card.
It's debit. It's pretty.
If he uses his credit card, that'd be an easy move.
Credit card? Regular one?
No, I used to have some troubles back in the day.
Wow.
Waiting credit problems.
Yeah.
No, I purposely don't have credit cards anymore, so I don't get myself in those same troubles.
Yeah.
Well, you hit a nerve with the people out there. The phones are lit.
Wow.
So
I'm disgusted and want vengeance.
Dude, I knew. I was like, I know the cops will be called if I did anything. Yeah. But I wanted nothing more.
It depends what you do.
I wanted nothing.
You got to know what you can do and what you can't.
I just wanted to run.
A little slam dunk on the floor. They're going to look for you, but you know what? In the end, you'll be all right.
Circuit City so Danny queer giraffe.
I wanted to run full steam into the manager, into his chest with my shoulder. That would have been worth it for me. And I would have got arrested. Just watching him like the grape lady trying to struggle for breath.
No, you do.
It would have been worth it.
You put on a football helmet and just start running full speed into the huge TVs one after another.
Oh God! Damn.
Until they call the cops.
Hey, liquidated asses!
I was telling another friend of mine about the story. He's like, you know what you do? I'm like, what? He goes, take your car, right? He's like, leave it running right outside the store. He's like, walk in like you're just browsing, take the right one. And just run out the store like a bank robbery.
They got cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's why you got to do it legitimately, which would be drop something hugely expensive, break it, pay for it with the Amex, and then call up right in front of them. And all loud, like the loud guy bit. Hello, is this American Express? I'd like to cancel the charge.
Danny could do some of that robbing. Because you look like a lot of different people. You're lucky that way. Someone like me, I'm screwed.
I thought about it. I was like, I could go home.
You shave your beard and stuff.
I could put my hair up. I could shave. I could wear a different jacket.
You'd be the guy that got your debit card. It's like, no, we know this is the guy.
What is this guy, stupid?
But I urge anyone who's looking to get a deal, screw Circuit City. Don't go there.
You know what? Those liquidation things never work out in the end.
No one cares.
They look like a great thing, but it's always a nightmare. Let's take our first break. 877-212-08. Every phone is lit, and a lot of people are having the same problems.
Well, they were a terrible store when they were doing well.
Yeah, it's true. Oh,
they always.
You know what they did? But I always went simply because I never really needed their salespeople. I
Yeah,
always
you
knew
just
what I
go
was
in.
going in there for, like whether it was a game or something like a DVD or something like. I never needed them, and this is like the first time I really ever needed them.
Took me 20 minutes to ask one person a question once in an empty store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're out of business.
Yep.
We got to take a break. Maybe we do a little Liquid A bombing over there.
Oh, for liquidation. Liquidation.
Yeah, Liquid A.
Oh.
They don't know where that's coming from.
Liquidation.
Oh God.
Maybe we get a few people just kind of walk around the store.
I'm liking that idea.
There's things we could do, Danny.
I can't. I mean, I never do anything.
Oh, this is just for the radio.
That would be a real
Wink,
funny.
wink, nudge, nudge.